Hello everyone, I'm Kevin and this is the Man Chat Live. Right John, well thanks for joining me mate.
Yeah, pleasure.
Sorry about the confusion with the times, I've been so busy and I know I didn't realise how bad the time difference is, and so I really apologise and I really appreciate you doing this mate.
Yeah, mate, no bother at all. I'm glad we finally organised it anyway.
Yeah, it's been a while mate, I've been following your journey for quite some time mate, and you have been on quite the journey.
Yes, it has been quite the ride. Similar to yourself, I think that's how we've ended up catching up anyway, so it's great.
Yeah, well, I'll just say a little bit about the man cave for you followers, and then you can just share your journey in if you want.
Yeah,
Um,
of course.
Basically, I'm Kevin. I live in South Wales in the UK, and about 8 years ago, I found out I was unable to have children. Uh, Basically broke me. Relationship broke down. I was drinking heavily. I was in a bad place. And yeah, and so on. And lucky enough, I met an amazing woman, Nikki, who changed my life. We went on a fertility journey, 2 failed attempts, IVF and ICSI. We're saving up for a third attempt now, third time lucky, hopefully. And about 2 years ago, I decided just to speak up and spread awareness around male infertility and mental health, as I believe they go hand in hand. And that's how the man came about. I'm on all social media accounts, got a website, and it's just grown from strength to strength. And that's a bit about me, John. And I don't know if you just want to just touch on from the start, basically, John, about your fertility journey, if you like.
Yeah. Well, mate, I'm very sorry that the circumstances bring us together through both of our journeys. Look, I guess mine started with my cancer diagnosis, basically. Around that sort of time, I basically made it okay that I wasn't going to have kids.
Yeah.
Um, I guess as a man, you want to solve things, and this is a way. I guess what I told myself was that I couldn't have kids, so that made it easier for me to move forward. And I guess for me, it wasn't until I met Laura that so I sort of started questioning all those things that I thought I'd heard,
Yeah.
and that sort of ruffled a few feathers, I guess. I was content back in that I'd made my peace with what had happened, and that was why I started working with a lot of kids, and I kind of just decided that I'd take them all away and look after them, and then give them back at the end of the day, back to their parents. So, um, sitting here with you or standing here with you and talking about this is it just shows what's available for us now. But it does show what we have to go through with regards to, I guess, having a family. And that can come in so many different ways. Okay.
Yeah, 100%, mate. What was I going to say? A support I was going to say about when you started going through the whole process, your fertility journey. Was there any support out there at all for the man side?
I think it might be similar to your story. I got online and I looked at a heap of different materials, though I guess there didn't seem to be anything of any real substance for us as blokes when it comes to dealing with this.
Yeah.
And look, we didn't even decide to actually start sharing our story until it was like a year or two down the line, because we just didn't know whether it was going to be of any value for one, but we didn't know whether we had it in us as well. I think it brings out part of each other and part of yourself that you sometimes never thought you ever had, really. But with regards to support from men, I didn't find any. I sort of thought, well, maybe it might be a place to attempt to create and add value, and get us fellas talking, which is not something we're really great at.
Can I just ask, John, how long ago was this?
How long ago? So
Yeah,
it would have started in 2017.
Yeah,
2017.
8 years ago. 8 years ago, I was 7 years ago. I was diagnosed with fertility cell only syndrome, and
Yeah.
there was nothing like Google, nothing on there. And I looked today, and it's nothing really on it now. But it's such a massive community on Instagram at the minute, and it's so good to see is other men opening up and doing anonymous accounts as well and talking about male infertility. And there's a big push at the minute. Do you feel like yourself?
I do feel that. I do feel that. And hopefully we've sort of started a bit of a revolution, for want of a better word. I kind of feel that some of the groups that are around are growing. And whilst it takes a bit of poking, we do get the guys talking about what is actually going on and how they can support themselves and how they can support their partners, and obviously how their families can support them, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I speak about it like I tell people I'm no professional or expert, and I'm still on the fertility journey, and I will always be on it as well. Even if we have a child, I'll still campaign, and just educate yourself every day. And I think that's what you need to do, especially starting out on your fertility journey.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's and for us, we've been lucky, though we still feel that I think once you're part of this infertility community, well, you never really leave it, and I guess for us, it is literally the only way we could get pregnant. So I guess once you're infertile for life, yeah, in one way or another, whether it's part of the groups or not.
Yeah, it's true, mate. Regards to coping mechanisms, I've spoken about it a number of times. Running was basically saved my life. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but it was. I took my frustration out on the pavements. I listened to podcasts and so on. Was there anything that got you through those dark hours, John?
Yeah, God, I think it was quite funny. I answered a question the other day about this, and I guess I can be quite odd, but maybe that's not the word. But I'm very routine based, and I found that creating a routine for myself to allow me control for the day. So how that looks is I like to journal. I journal morning and night. I would meditate, and when I say meditate, it's not sitting down with your legs crossed and for hours on end. It's my version of meditation, or maybe mindfulness is a better word. And when I say that, it's literally I had to start at a minute because my mind would be racing. It was really hard to redirect and come back to that positive track when you had all this stuff happening to you. I would jump on the drums, and like you said, mate, you like to run. I just like to get physical. So we've even got a little rebounder trampoline here, and I jump on that, and it's really hard to remain sort of negative when you're bouncing up and down on a little trampoline with your favourite tunes going. I guess one important thing was I was very particular about the people that I sort of introduced into my support circle. It's not through any intent of their own, but a lot of people can be quite insensitive to your particular situation, and even infertility in general, because it doesn't affect. There's a huge portion of the community that it doesn't affect, And it is quite funny. Just having sex and having a baby is quite foreign to us anyway, isn't it?
Yeah. Is that for other people to understand if they haven't been on the fertility journey themselves? I remember when I was
Yeah.
diagnosed all them years ago, going home and telling my dad and that, and how was he supposed to understand if I didn't understand? Do you know what I mean? And is a tough old process. Is a tough process.
Yeah, yeah, it is a tough process to cope with, for one, because I guess you've got to deal with your diagnosis, and I guess in saying that too, it was very important that I didn't attach to the diagnosis. I didn't make it my identity. Um, it was literally like, basically, if you wanted to make it work, it was that non-obstructive azoospermia, which meant I wasn't getting any sperm out. So
Yeah.
um, if you didn't attach to that and it was just something that was happening to me, I found that easier to separate from it, and I made it that it wasn't me. It was something that it was a challenge that I needed to confront, and some certain things that I needed to work through.
Yeah, totally agree. Your yoga was actually another one I've come across over the past year. That's only due to Instagram, and it's not something I do, but because of the running, it helps me recover. It calms me as well, and me and Nikki have actually done it together, and that's been pretty different, to be honest, John.
Yeah, right. I know I've touched on yoga a few times. Being a tall guy, I'm not the most flexible, but I do make that really important
I think
to
I think on
relieve some stress.
sorry, I think on a fertility journey, I think you're open and willing to try anything new. I think.
Yes, yes. I think that is probably the biggest thing to come out of this chat, mate. I think you have to be open to trying anything and everything to look after your health and whoever's around you, your partner, your friend, your family.
Yeah. Regards to the infertility, man, and it's amazing what you've been doing, mate. What was it? I know your fertility journey was the main reason, but did you spend many nights contemplating doing it, or did you just dive straight in and set it up? Because regards to me, me and Nikki, many weekends we'd have a drink on the weekend, and I kind of shift out, and I'd go, nah, I can't post it. I was worried of what people might say, but in the end, I did. I took up the courage to do it, and I haven't looked back since.
Yeah. Very grateful for that, mate. You making that decision. I tell you what, it doesn't come lightly though,
No.
because for me, this social media is just, it's so foreign, and and the technology behind it. My Mrs. Laura, she just rolls her eyes at me when I ask her for the 15th time how to put a story on Instagram, or even onto Facebook. But making that decision for us, I think it comes back to that question, Kevin, when you were asking whether there were any whether there was anything out there to support me on my journey, and around that time, that's when we started to discuss, and I guess maybe like yourself, you're just like, well, is this going to be of value? Are we going to be able to offer anything to these people out there? And I guess you sort of start coming up with a heap of excuses not to do it, but really the one reason to do it is that even if it helps one couple, one group, one bloke, then I guess we've done our part. We've played our part.
Yeah, totally agree, mate.
Yeah.
Everything you said, mate, it's so rewarding as well. People reaching out,
Yeah.
men, women,
Yeah.
getting in touch. What's the feedback been like since
Yeah.
you've set it up, mate?
I think that it has taken some time, but I guess for us it was really important. And tell me if I'm incorrect here, but for us, our journey into infertility, the actual area in general was quite negative, because obviously it's challenging, and you've got to take on the idea that you've got something amiss with your fertility, And our general thoughts were we didn't want to add to that. We wanted to add a different perspective. And I believe we've done that. I believe we've sort of attempted to just change the way we looked at it anyway, which helped us through each day, through each night, through each injection. And I would like to think, judging by the people that speak to us and the people we speak to, that we've done an okay job. We're always open to feedback, which is a big thing as well. We've got pretty thick skin, so we can work through pretty much everything, especially seeing as you're part of the infertility community.
Yeah. I think every couple is different. I think we sat down and started our journey 4 years ago, and we said we already knew it makes or breaks couples, and we wouldn't get in financial difficulty, and we just sat down, we set a plan. You know what I mean? And we'll go through it day by day. Yeah, there's been arguments along the way. There's been tears. There's been walkouts.
Yeah.
But we've only grown stronger as a couple, mate. And doing what I'm doing now is so rewarding as well. And I'm really passionate, and I feel like I found a purpose now. And I'm really excited for the future.
Oh, that's great to hear. That's great to hear. I think one of our little coping mechanisms is we made it sort of we made fertility date nights, and these were the times when we could just talk about anything and everything.
Yeah.
Fertility wise, infertility wise for us. So because it can become quite consuming. All consuming, right? You can speak about it there. Well, most women can speak about it all day and every day. That was a little much for me, and we would sort of designate some time, be it at night or be it sometime during the day, because I do shift work and stuff, and we could talk about that, and I could cope with the chat, and I'd prepared and removed any distractions, and that seemed to work for us. That seemed to work for us very well.
Yeah, same happened through the lockdown period. We set up like date nights, and that helped us mentally just to get through that whole process over the last 2 years. And I think you need to. I think you need to do that just to relax, sit back, and actually listen.
Yeah. There's a lot of distractions out there, mate.
Yeah.
And we're flying around on one of them: Instagram, Facebook, and.
With the Instagram account you have has been taken off massively now. I've been a big follower for a while. You've also set up a support group on Facebook. I don't know if you want to touch on that for people who don't know about it.
Yeah. I guess I didn't know how this was going to go. I guess for me to have a place to just chat about what we were doing. We're not. Well, I work in the medical field, but we're definitely not medical when it comes to the infertility side of things. Though it's just a good place to have a chat. And the men's infertility group on Facebook, it's growing. And whilst the guys again need a little bit of a poke, once you sort of get the ball rolling, well, we just feel that it's a safe and supportive space. And I believe, I kind of get the feeling that the guys that are involved, they're getting some relief out of it, and that makes me happy. That's great.
Just letting other guys know that you're not alone, and I find you seek comfort in hearing other stories as well. I've been on a few support groups myself, and it's pretty good. And like I said, I'm no professional or expert, and people reach out to me, and just having that chat and maybe directing them in a direction that they need to go. Where 8 years ago, for myself personally, there was no support or no direction on where to go, and that's what drives me personally, is knowing that there's guys going into these hospitals and clinics and getting diagnosis, and they're not having the support. And I don't want them to go on the journey I went on, because you don't want to go down that road.
Yeah, that's right. You never want to share this type of journey, though. I think for what it makes of you, is pretty amazing. Like if you take a look at yourself now, like you're a few years into this ride now, and I kind of get the feeling that you've changed as a man
Oh,
as well.
100%. 100%.
You sort of found what down was, bounced, and you're sort of in this place now, where I guess you feel stronger. Would that be correct?
Yeah, 100%, John. Much like I said, I feel like I got a purpose. I'm stronger mentally and physically.
Mm,
Feel the best I've ever felt, and it all boils down
yeah,
to the amazing woman in the next room. But I
yeah,
don't, well, I
yeah,
don't tell enough. But some people are not lucky to meet those amazing women, and that's why I'm about to let people know that they're not alone.
yeah. Yeah, it's I think that has been one of the biggest learnings from the actual group, and even some of the questions coming in, even from men and women, is they do feel alone. That once they find out what is happening, or even if they don't know, it's like, oh, they feel like they're abnormal, which is not the case.
Yeah.
The shame is infertility is on the rise, and be that the environment and what we're doing to this world and all the stuff we're consuming, and the quality of foods and all that sort of thing, our lifestyles. We need to start taking heed and looking after ourselves. And when it comes to infertility, we need to be open to listening to people's thoughts, feelings, stories,
Yeah.
and doing that without judgment. I think that's a big one. People are listening to respond instead of just listening
Yeah.
and attempting to hear what is actually going on and finding out what this other person needs.
So the support group is open to men and women, John. Is that right?
We've just anyone who identifies as male. That's what we've made it. Now, I will say we have had a couple of wives that have gone in and spoken for the men, and it sort of gets very quiet. So, yeah. So yeah, that was it, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Though it is predominantly for men. Laura did set it up, and if they ever, whoop, am I all right? Am I still on the
Yeah.
screen there, Kevin?
You're,
Yeah.
you're still there.
And yeah, Laura set it up, and she's sort of in the background if and when one of the guys asks for a female sort of angle. But yeah, it's for the blokes, for the guys, and anyone who identifies as male there, Kevin.
Yeah, it's just amazing, mate. For people who don't know, I know myself because I'm a big follower of you, I'm a big fan. Where are you on your fertility journey?
Oh well, this is the big one, and we're very grateful. So we have actually been successful, and we're out the other side of our first infertility journey, and we have a 6-year-old daughter, and she's doing great, and Laura's just a powerhouse. So you women are just, you blow my mind. I'm just in awe. Like it's because of me we ended up on this journey, and I tell Laura this all the time, and she tells me not to be stupid, but it's just like we've ended up on this journey because I found it difficult to even produce sperm. We didn't know we had it. We had some in the beginning, and then we end up getting pregnant, and then they've got to go through that, and then they've got to breastfeed. It's just.
Yeah. Can I ask you?
I tell you what, Kevin. As a man, we've ended up with the better end of the stick, even if it's hard to watch sometimes.
Can I ask you a personal question, John?
Of course.
Did you speaking but there now? Did you used to beat yourself up a lot about that?
About
Like
not producing sperm.
Blaming yourself, like using that situation.
Yes.
Did you tend to used to beat yourself up a lot about it?
Yeah, it brings with it a lot of guilt, I can tell you.
Yeah, yeah, 100%, mate, 100%.
Uh, it was rough. Again. Well, I guess my darkest times was when I started to feel that this was done to me. Why has this happened to me? Why is
Yeah,
this?
yeah,
And I become very self-centered and self-focused. Um, some of the reading that I've done and some of the learnings it was just mentioned once, and it was just, if this is happening for you, why would that be? And I'm like, that's an interesting spin on things. So if my infertility journey is happening for me, then is there some other part that I need to look at? Is there something else I need to do? Is there something? And if had going the normal way, having sex and having a baby wasn't for me, it's like, right, well, this is actually going to be a more difficult journey, or just a different journey. So I think putting that in front of myself as a challenge, that gave me a bit of fire as well.
yeah,
Um, and that kept that guilt, that feeling at bay. And not to say, geez, it popped up when you're giving your missus a 100th injection, or 1,000th injection, whatever, and you see the bruised tummy and just tired and just over it, and you're just like, man, this is tough to take. This is rough to take. Mm.
it is, mate. And acceptance, I speak a lot about. I dealt with guilt for quite some time, and I think when I accepted my situation, like you said earlier about myself, I've just grown stronger, and that comes with acceptance, I think, handling the situation. But it comes time, like I said, it took me about 3 or 4 years to accept the situation, and it shouldn't be like that, especially for young men, because it can change and shape your life end of the day.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And it comes back to, I guess, as a man, we have the easiest position when it comes to finding out about our infertility as well.
Yeah,
Like it all comes back to information, doesn't it, Kevin? You sit there and you go, right, I need to get some information about my fertility, but I haven't got anyone pregnant. Oh, well, maybe I go and get my sperm tested. Oh, okay, you've got sperm. Great. Is it
yeah,
swimming the wrong way? Is it going the other way? Is it fragmented? Is it, or don't you have it? And you go, oh, that's interesting. You can sort of start creating a bit of a health record of what's going on with you, and then that can shorten this period of it's a God willing you don't have to do infertility, but if you end up down this road, you're actually more informed as you go into this relationship with this other partner or new partner, and I guess that would speed things up, for want of some better words.
yeah. Do you think more needs to be done in regards to male infertility, John?
Um, Well, it was funny, didn't we? We spoke on that group, and I
Yeah,
found it fascinating that there was literally five of us from around the world who were
yeah,
just trying to shake things up.
yeah,
Um, and I don't know. I guess I expected a heap more people.
yeah,
And the funny thing is, we kind of all knew each other in one way or
yeah,
another.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I believe that there is still a stigma attached to it,
Yeah,
and our ability to make sperm seems to be attached to that feeling of being masculine and being a man. Um, I know for me, it was never a case really. I never made it about me type thing,
yeah,
um, but. Yeah, as a whole, I believe there could be more done,
yeah,
and maybe not, maybe even it's around the support in the relationship, how you can support yourself,
yeah,
being a bit more emotionally intelligent when it comes
yeah,
to communicating with family, with
yeah,
friends, with your partner, with yourself. and allowing for strategies how you can actually pick yourself up when you are down, and those places of support you can actually go to when you're finding it hard. I know I've sent a few people over you guys way over in the UK because we keep getting a few messages. And hopefully that's not a hassle for you, and hopefully you can help them over there. I don't particularly know the system in the UK.
Point them in the right direction, but I think some men deal with it better and some deal with it worse. But it's just giving that option now at the minute. Like recently, I've written like an ebook. I'm trying to get that into clinics where I talk about my journey, little things that have helped me in the process, and it's just giving that option for a man for maybe a bit of support and where to go to, and I just think that's what's needed at the minute.
Yeah, oh, that's great. I wasn't aware of the ebook, mate. It's really helpful, I think, to see. But like everyone's story is different, and I think if you can actually take some value out of each and every story, there are parts that are similar in each of your journeys. So I guess it's just hanging on to what works, getting rid of what doesn't work, putting yourself around people that actually pump you up rather than pull you down, and man, just one step after the other. What's the next step? All right, that didn't work, or that did work. What's the next step? And keep putting those posts in front of you, and hopefully, God willing, you get the outcome that you are chasing.
Oh, thank you, mate. That's much appreciated. The last question you'd be pleased to know is what's in store in the future for the infertility man? You've got anything lined up now, or just sleepless nights?
Yeah. So the funny thing is, we were actually only talking about that. So I guess we fall into the category of what they call secondary infertility. It's happened for us once, but it is literally the only way we can get pregnant again. So we'll pretty much dip back into that area if and when that is going to be possible. We have, I guess, like yourself, we've decided to. Well, it was an idea we threw around a year or two ago, but once we actually, conceived our little girl, we sort of went, man, we really need to really put our stuff down on paper or in a book, and so we're endeavouring to put something together, and we're sort of holding our feet to the fire at the moment, and really find this important to create something that's going to offer some support through this tough ride. It's like it's the worst roller coaster in the world, but everyone's lining up to get on board because the infertility is the only way to get pregnant. It's just it's raucous. It's crazy.
I got a laugh while crying.
Yeah. Mate, that is exactly right. And you'll just get to the point you just go, you could not write a story about this. You could not make this stuff up in your imagination. Some of the miscommunications when you go through your story when it comes to medical professionals and the like. But it's a definite wide ride. But everyone out there, you're definitely not alone. There is so much support out there if you can just dip your feet in the water and just I guess vulnerable is probably not the word, because I've never been more vulnerable being in this infertility community, because being open to different options, I think, and adaptable is really important to surviving and thriving in this environment.
Yeah, I second that, John. Totally agree with everything you just said, mate.
Yeah, great.
I'm going to leave it there, mate. I really appreciate you coming on. You've been on quite the journey, and I'm just so chuffed and glad that it worked out for you, mate. really appreciate you coming on, but I know it's the early hours. You can go back to bed now.
Yeah, you've got me all wound up, mate. I'm gonna have to read a book or whatever and put myself back to sleep. It's what is it now? 2:38 in the morning. So yeah.
I'm so sorry, but I know tonight all morning we have helped someone. We have helped someone by having this conversation, mate. So
Yeah, mate.
thank you very
I'm really
much.
grateful for you having me on, mate. And yeah, if we get any interest from the other side of the ditch, the other side of the water, I'll keep sending them your way, and you keep doing such a great job,
Vice
mate.
versa, yeah,
I
totally
really
agree, mate.
appreciate you, mate.
Brilliant. Speak to you soon,
Yeah.
John. Right, thank you very much.
You take care, brother. See you, mate.
Ta-ra, mate.